they were not even talking about young professionals at all. Doon lang nila nasimulan banggitin nung nagkaroon na ng problema.
Okay, bago ikaw, Charlie, si Diego daw muna magtatanungan. Diego, babalikan ka namin, Atty. Philip, ba? Si Diego.
This is for Atty. Philip.
Hindi ko na, PJ.
We can go back to James to talk about the more juicy issues on Caldemo. Now, Atty. Vincent Maronilla, the new Customs Commissioner was appointed by President Duterte specifically to address the issue of corruption in the Bureau. And he has been there for some time now, a few weeks probably. So, what specific reforms does Mr. Guerrero implement in the Bureau towards this end?
So, first of all, good morning. Well, yes, he's been there for about 9 months now, and last Monday, we actually presented to the media forum in the Bureau of Customs, the media accomplishment report of the Commissioner of Customs. Now, when he assumed office, the first thing that the Commissioner of Customs actually did was to not just evaluate the personnel there, but to look at the entire system. The problem with the Bureau of Customs is that corruption is already systemic. So it's not only because of the personnel that has been used to thrive in this particular system, but there are systems in place that actually provides our personnel and our stakeholders opportunities for corruption. So slowly, he was able to develop some automation projects, focused on some automation projects that we slowly implemented to address these particular issues. First of all, we now have we're working on a data tracking system. We have that now, wherein you can go to our website and you can actually track the progress of your requests and your applications without going through the normal follow-ups of going to the office and having face-to-face transactions. And therefore, if you talk to somebody there, then that might result to some issues on corruption. We were also able to automate a risk management parameter in terms of avoiding some issues on under-invoicing or misinvoicing, which is the main problem in terms of collecting the right duties and taxes. So the National Value Verification System was established. The goods declaration system was also established in GDBS namin, Goods Declaration Verification System, wherein you can also track the actual process that your goods is actually undergoing. That's going to be online also. But more importantly, we're already working on now, it's about 70% completed, to establish a CCTV network that the public can have access to. Not just on the workplace of the Bureau of Customs, where you can observe how transactions are being made, but more importantly, in the designated examination areas of the major ports. We will start with the 2 major ports. Therefore, if you have a container coming into the Manila International Container Port in the Port of Manila, your container will be given an internet tag, and you can use that internet tag to actually monitor when the scheduled examination of your particular container is going to be, and the website by which you can actually view real-time how the customs examiner conducts physical examination on this. We've also established a dashboard system. If you are able to visit the Bureau of Customs, there's a situation room there now, open to everyone to observe, wherein there's a dashboard, there's a very wide screen that reflects all the necessary data related to the operations of the Bureau of Customs. So real time, all the officers of the Bureau of Customs are aware of the rate of assessment of a particular port, how much is it collecting at a given time, how many vessels are berthed, how many vessels are downloading, what's the congestion rate of each port to avoid congestion.
Now on the matter of smuggling of drugs, no? The syndicates have been using the Customs Bureau as the doorway, no, in smuggling drugs. And how would you assess the effectivity of our X-ray system?
So we'll have to be honest. During the previous scandal that the Bureau of Customs were involved in, I think it focused on the lack of the capability of our X-ray machines already to detect these kinds of contrabands. However, we've already purchased, and they're already here, 6 brand new and modern scanning equipments that will be able to scan our containers at 4D imaging, color-coded, and can detect through the color coding system various contrabands. So they can also detect organic from non-organic products. And the beauty of these modern X-ray containers is that they can 100% scan a particular container if the containers loaded at a truck on a speed of 20 kilometers per hour. So we'll be able to speed up the release time, but at the same time, without compromising the scanning capability, or at least the option to scan these containers. There are already 6 modern X-ray scanners for containers that arrived and are now in the process of being installed. 2 will be installed in the Port of Manila, 2 will be installed in the Manila International Container Port. Now the rest of the 2 are still being studied on where to actually place them. One might be placed in one major port in the Visayas and the other one in Cebu.
Okay, Charlie.
Maganda po yung binabanggit ni Asik Maronilla, pero balikan pa rin si Mama yung konti. Balik po tayo muna kay spokesman James Jimenez. Sir, kanina banggit mo yung ini-insist ng Duterte Youth na ang kanilang representation includes yung young professionals. Ang sabi po ni Senator Dema sa isang interview, noon daw po na-first na accreditation, number 1 nominee is yung asawa niya na 38 years old. Pero dahil lang pati yung young professionals na nire-represent nila, ang ibang nominees daw po nila ay 41, 40, 43, basta the rest of the 5 nominees are above 40 years old. Pinayagan daw po ito ng COMELEC. Kasi nga daw po, pati yung young professionals nire-represent nila. Kano po ito itong katotoo?
Hindi ko alam yung ages ng ibang nagbitaw, no? But ultimately, nagbitaw sila. So, again, I have to check the ages of the old nominees. But certainly, the first nominee was his wife, and she was well within the age.
Isa pa po, sabi po ito po yung alegasyon ni Ronald Cardema na nagbigay sila o yung kampo niya ng 2 million sa isang emisaryo ng isang congresswoman para daw kay Commissioner Guanzon. Hindi po ba ito isang admittance ng youth na yung party niya ng bribe?
Actually, yun na nga yung medyo nakakapagtaka dito. No? Inaamin niya na nag-commit siya ng crime. Could be an admission against interest. So, I guess that will have to be settled later on. You know? Pero ultimately, anong point niya? Ang point ba, kapag gumawa ka ng mali, dapat i-reward ka? Di ba, kung gumawa ka ng mali, dapat wala kang inaasahang reward kasi nagkamali ka eh. Di ba? So, again, if he feels that he has reason to file any sort of action, if there's any legal recourse against anyone in the COMELEC or with a commissioner, I think he should go for it. Kung totoong nagbigay siya, then prove it in court and let the judgment of the law fall where it may.
Ano po ang plano ng COMELEC dito? Hindi po kayo mag-file ng charges against Cardema?
Right now the offense seems to be directed at the person of Commissioner Guanzon. And nagsabi na siya that she will take appropriate legal action to defend her name. No? As far as the COMELEC is concerned, the one alleging the wrongdoing, kung sino nagsabing may pagkakamali, patunayan niya. And until wala siyang napapatunayan, until all we have actually are press statements and interviews in the media, medyo wala tayong magagawa dyan, or wala tayong inclination to do anything about that. Kasuhan niya yung COMELEC kung gusto niya.
Director James, hindi ba admission niya yun na sinabi niya, nagbigay siya ng 2 million? So, it's an admission of guilt. You need no further proof, no, of that particular admission, and then the COMELEC can motu proprio, no, file charges against him. And one of that will be to de-accredit Duterte Youth kasi nagbayad pala siya, di ba?
Well, again, like I said, I'm not for closing any legal action by the COMELEC, but I'm just saying that at this point, to vindicate the name of the COMELEC, medyo wala tayong movement in that direction. Again, if the allegation is directed against a particular person saying na nagbigay siya sa isang tao, then, that person has already said that she will avail of legal remedies. So, yun na lang muna. No? Again, and ultimately, mahirap din to give credence to everything that's being said at this point. The situation is so muddy now. It's so confusing. All of the things that he's saying, medyo none of them make sense na.
So, in other words, the COMELEC will simply stand by and will do nothing until something comes up again.
Because remember, no, he has to prove why he gave the money. I mean, the fact that he gave the money is one thing. What he gave the money for, whether or not that reaches back to the qualification or kung disqualifying one of the part of this organization, that has to be proven back. So there's that aspect of it. So right now, the COMELEC has already made a decision. The cases that are surrounding this issue, nakapending na yan sa amin. May motion for reconsideration siya, merong opposition dun sa bagong list of nominees na final nila. We'll see how that turns out.
Okay, thank you, Director James. Meron pa ba, Charlie? Okay, so before we continue, let me acknowledge the presence of our media partners, Camilo Belleza Melendez, okay, of Media Force, Eleonora Melendez of Liga ng Broadcaster ng Pilipinas, Alan Gatus of DCBB GMA7, Carlos Peña of DCBB GMA, Edwin Dizon, Eruel Perez of CNN Philippines, Larry Doon, Ruel Velasco, Bernard of PTV4. Also, we have Reynante Garcia and Don of GMA7, Benedict Abaygard of Filipino Mirror. Nag-text nga pala siya kahapon sa akin, sabi niya, Sir, sino po guest natin ngayon? Sabi ko, si Atty. Maronilla at si Director James. Sino po ito? Si Benedict Abaygard po ito ng Filipino Mirror. So, naalala ko lang, Mr. Cherubin of Remate, Boy Santos of Philippine Star, Jam Santa Rosa, Philippine Daily Inquirer, Annalie of Daily Tribune, Eden Santos of Net25, ayan, ano natin yan, regular natin, and Roel Lumbao of Net25. So, yung nakikita ko na wala dito, of course, Jimmy, nandito si Jimmy, ng SMNI, nandito rin si Kalingoy Alcubas ng Opinion, Ado Paginawan of RP1. Sino pa yung mga nagtatago sa akin na ayaw mabalik? Anyway, so, let's go back to Atty. Philip. Atty. Philip, very recently, meron ng mga customs officials and employees, na natanggal ba o na-transfer or floating, and there are others being investigated. Can you update us on the status of this?
Well, initially po, may 64 names na banggit si Pangulong Duterte. And out of the 64, which was given to the Customs Intelligence and Investigation Service, a validation of the information from the Office of the President were made by the CIS agents. And after validation, it was proven that all of the 64 have existing administrative cases before the Bureau of Customs. The 64 ho na yun, 12 po doon ang either nag-resign na o nag-retire na. So that leaves about 52. Now the 52 has already been transferred to the Compliance Monitoring Unit to implement the directive of the President to remove them from their current posts. So there's a different task provided to them at the Compliance Monitoring Unit. Tapos minomonitor din po yung attendance nila doon on a regular basis ni Commissioner Guerrero. Now, other than the 52, there are several employees also that are now under investigation, totaling to about 119.
So itong mga employees na ito, no, inilipat lang. Hindi sila tinanggal sa pwesto.
May proseso kasi these are employees covered by civil service rules. So these are plantilla holder positions. So ang nangyari po, pursuant to the directive of the President, meron po, may security of tenure. Binanggit din naman ni Pangulo that of course he will respect their rights as employees. So that's why his initial order was to remove them first from their current post and put them on another assignment. Tapos yung mga cases po nila na nakapending sa Bureau of Customs, their administrative cases, the Bureau of Customs Legal Service has already endorsed this to the Office of the Ombudsman. We've already divested ourselves of the jurisdiction for this administrative cases and already endorsed the same to the Office of the Ombudsman, who already exercised jurisdiction over the pending cases of these employees.
Question po, yung bang PACC, are they investigating some of the officials of Customs?
Yes, sir. PACC and the National Bureau of Investigation pursuant to the directive of the Justice Secretary are also conducting their own investigations on the alleged corruption issues in the Bureau of Customs. And they've already coordinated with us and we're fully cooperating with their separate investigations.
In your analysis and evaluation, mawawala po ba ang corruption sa Customs?
Honest opinion, sir, may mga factors na kailangan talagang gawin para mawala. Of course, it's doable. Matagal-tagal na rin ako sa Bureau of Customs. Binibiro ko nga si Commissioner Guerrero na pang ilang reform program na rin to na kung saan nakasali tayo. Slowly naman, if you compare it to the customs of old, a lot of improvement has already been made. If you just go to the Bureau of Customs now, dati-rate, parang palengke ho yan eh. The area is very susceptible to corruption. Now, unti-unti nililinis na rin namin yung area namin. But again, there are a lot of factors that really needs to be considered and needs to be done. One of which, very basic ho to. Kailangan ho namin magtayo ng maayos na opisina. Kung nakaunto kayo sa Bureau of Customs, the workplace itself is very conducive to corruption. Why? Kanya-kanya hihanap ng opisina eh. Kanya-kanyang sulok, kanya-kanya. Sa amin na lang sa Office of the Commissioner, all of the Deputy Commissioners are not even housed in one building. We're scattered all over. So, unlike the Bureau of Internal Revenue where the central office is all at one building, per floor, malalaman mo agad. Ang Revenue Operations Group nila, ang Legal and Revenue Operations Group nila, nasa ganitong floor lang. Lahat ng directors and officers under that unit is under that floor. So, that small basic step, malaking bagay yung may tutulong kasi that will promote a little bit of transparency in terms of the workplace. Pangalawa ho, at hindi naman namin ito itinuturong dahilan, but of course, studies of how other customs, yung integrity issue sa customs is not exclusive to the Philippines. Australia, which is a very progressive country, years before, 2014, also embarked in a very ambitious customs reform program. They actually provided us on how they actually did it. It was a mix of actually privatizing some sensitive functions which are not sovereign, meaning the sovereign functions were still retained, and some of which that can be considered proprietary pinrivatize muna. At the same time, if you look at modern customs administrations all over the world, may provisions din ho to actually increase the salary to improve the lives and the situations of the employees. I'll give an example. Again, hindi ho justification. I'm not saying na justification yung mababang sweldo para mag-engage sa corrupt activities. But of course, that will at least provide some reward to the men and women of the Bureau of Customs who's collecting so much. And yet, at the end of the day, mamomroblema sila paano nila pakakainin yung pamilya nila. One concrete example, sa Manila International Container Port, yung pinakamalaking puerto sa buong bansa, which 30% of the volume comes in. May isang section ho dyan, ang pinaka-hepe is a salary grade 20, which is about 40,000 pesos ang sweldo, ang basic na sweldo. Mga 40 to 45. Less tax, mababa pa naman, mababa yun. And yet, a month. And yet, ang expected target na ibibigay namin sa kanya is an average of about 4 to 5 billion a month. So you're expecting someone to collect that big and paying him so low. Hindi dapat justification na mababa yung sweldo mo kasi nasa gobyerno ka. But may connect rin ho yun sa mga programang nakita namin sa ibang bansa kung paano nila nireforma yung Bureau of Customs. You don't need to increase their salary so much. You just need to be able to look at the average salary now of persons in terms of inflation, in terms of our macroeconomic situation, and look at ano ba yung average salary na pwede natin ibigay sa mga taong to, sufficient na magkaroon ng bahay, magkaroon ng maayos na pagkain at mapapag-aral na lang kayong pamilya. And that, I think that will address some of our issues in terms of corruption.
Okay, Charlie.
What about po yung media accreditation niya sa customs? Kasi po dati, ang may kusina po ron, house show ng media. Yung legitimate na media po, walang office doon. Bawat doon, dati house show lang. Meron po ba nga ngayon?
Sir, we just engaged last week lang kasi retire lang niya. I'm not sure for those our friends in the media who were also assigned at the Armed Forces of the Philippines. General Bien Datuin, who formerly heads the Civil Relations Office of the Armed Forces, is now working with our Public Information and Assistance Division, and that's one of his major projects. Tanggalin yung house show, tapos magtayo ng matinong media office para sa mga kaibigan natin sa media sa Bureau of Customs. Kasi napapansin ho namin, hindi rin namin we can't get the message across dun sa mga media friends natin. Kasi nga, hindi maayos yung media relations office natin.
Okay, babalikan ka namin, Atty. Philip. Meanwhile, Director James, in-invite ka dito supposedly to talk about Duterte and Mr. Cardema. Pero pwede ba akong mag-segue ng kapraso? Let's go to Smartmatic, which is always a hot issue. No? Remember, the President made a pronouncement. Sabi niya, palitan na natin yung Smartmatic. No? So, sa palagay nyo, ang ginagawa ng COMELEC ngayon, kasi palaging ang reason ng COMELEC kung bakit Smartmatic ang kinukuha, wala nang time. At sabihin, wala na out of time, a few months na lang, election na, so let's use Smartmatic. Pero ngayon, 34 months pa, no? Bago magka-election ulit. So, what is the COMELEC doing, no, to address that issue?
First of all, lagay natin sa tamang konteksto. Kailan ba huling ginamit ang Smartmatic na para sa halalan? 2016? 2019? Wala tayong Smartmatic na directly related to the voting noong 2019, no? Meron sila nung electronic transmission. Yun yung parang yung pinaka wireless na system na nagtatransmit ng results. But as far as the voting and counting are concerned, wala nang participation ng Smartmatic doon. Yung makina, binili natin sa kanila. Pero yung contents ng makina, again, hindi na yung Smartmatic, no? So yung nagpapatakbo sa makina. Noong 2016, we had to have a bidding hindi time ang sinabi namin doon. Ang problema natin doon, wala tayong budget. Hindi tayo maka-afford well, noong 2016, we had to have a bidding, may budget, pero doon sa mga nag-bid, Smartmatic yung nanalo. Noong 2013, yun yung wala tayong budget kasi hiningi namin medyo yung tamang cost ng makina. Ang sabi ng budget noon, nung 2010, nabili niya yun for 7 million. So, 7 billion. So, 7 billion lang bibigay natin. Samantalang, ang talagang market price noon was around 10 to 11 billion na. So, we had to go for the cheaper option, which was an option to purchase. Kaya, umulit tayo ng Smartmatic. So, going back to 2010, bidding din yun. So, dalawang bidding nangyari sa atin, 2010 tsaka 2016. In both cases, nanalo yung Smartmatic. In an open, public, and competitive bidding. No? Nanalo sila. And then in 2013, umulit tayo ng Smartmatic kasi kapos yung budget at so ginamit natin yung Smartmatic kasi nag-option to purchase tayo. Kasi yung option to purchase was like half ng cost ng bagong makina. Noong 2016, again, like I said, bidding. Noong 2019, nabili din natin yung makinang ginamit natin noong 2016. Again, at roughly half the cost of brand new machines. No? So, in no instance did COMELEC ever say na wala ng time, Smartmatic na lang, walang ganon. No? Walang ganon. Pangalawa, just to put the President's statement into context, remember, after niya sinabi yun, everyone was saying na bantay kayo pagdating ng SONA, babanatan kayo ng Presidente. Ano sinabi ng Presidente ng SONA? That the elections were successful, that he was happy with the results. Meaning to say, wala siyang pinupuntong any instance of fraud na nakita niya or na parating sa kanyang atensyon. Because otherwise, I would expect, as everyone does, na nabanggit niya yun. Although doon nung sinabi niya na tanggalin niyang Smartmatic, let's dig deeper into that. Ano ba nangyari doon? Ang nangyari doon, merong isang Filipino overseas na nagsabi sa kanya, ayaw namin kasi hindi kami nagtitiwala sa Smartmatic. And ang response ng Presidente, hindi tanggalin ang Smartmatic. The President is very sensitive to public opinion. He listens to these people. He listens to the citizens. And he as much as he can, he gives directives that respond to the sentiments of the people. And that's what his directive was. Remove Smartmatic, again, ultimately, because people don't seem to trust it anymore. So, yun ang pinagagalingan niya. Hindi, to my mind, wala siyang pinupunto na specific instance. Again, this is proven by two things. No? Number one, after that statement, sinabi mismo ng tagapagsalita niya si Secretary Manalo na wala namang nababanggit na kahit anong pagduda yung Presidente sa resulta. In fact, he was happy with the results. Which is again, emphasized kung sinabi niya rin yan doon sa SONA niya. Having said that, pagdating nitong 2022, magkakaroon tayo ng bidding ulit. So, mauulit ba yung 2010 at 2016 kung saan Smartmatic lang ang nanalo? Tingnan natin. But what we are doing now is we are exploring all possibilities to make sure na mas malawak yung pagpipilian ng ating bayan. Mas malawak yung field na magpa-participate sa bidding para sa darating na halalan. Gustuhin man ng COMELEC na sundin to the letter yung advice ng Pangulo. Again, we are operating under certain laws, no? And those laws include yung public bidding. Again, gustuhin man ng COMELEC na sundin to the letter yung suggestion ng Pangulo, still, the laws are in effect. Kailangan pa rin natin sundin yung batas. Kaya nga, ang ginagawa namin, para mas maganda yung pagpipilian, mas malawak yung pagpipilian, hindi lamang isang solusyon, pero iba't ibang klaseng solusyon na nagawa na kami ng technology fair kasama ng DICT. At nagbabalak pa kami ng isa pang technology fair. No? Again, to invite everyone with a possible solution to please come and participate, and maybe we can have a better election solution pagdating ng 2020.
Let me just clarify a few things, Director James. No? Sabi mo, walang Smartmatic itong 2019. So, ibig sabihin, the VCM, no, which was supplied by Smartmatic, okay, iba nabili na natin yan, ano? So it's not being maintained by them, okay? So tayo na lahat ang gumamit yan. And then the software, no, running the VCM, no? So hindi na sa Smartmatic. So it's our own system. So sino nag-develop no?
Na-develop yun kasama dun sa nung 2016 na pinadaan natin sa sa technical review ng ating source code international at saka local source code review. Marami ng input yung ating local engineers at sa ating information technology department. Again, the core of it is still the system that we used in previous elections, but running it, designing it, the input is with the COMELEC and of course yung ating source code review.
How about yung canvassing and consolidating system? So ito supplied pa ba ito ng Smartmatic?
Yung electronic transmission system ang sinapply ng Smartmatic.
Okay. The CCS in itself, atin na yan. Okay. Charlie.
May phone-in question po tayo. Galing po sa kay Eden ng Net25 para kay Asek Maronilla. Ano daw po ang target collection for 2019? Budget season na po, may increase or may budget increase ba or cut sa BOC? And how much po ang 2020 budget proposal ng BOC?
Yung sa budget ko na po ako, no? Yung budget proposal namin was supposed to be about 7 billion. But it was slashed to about 2 point something. Kasi yung previous budget po namin, medyo mababa yata yung utilization. So, yun yung issue namin ngayon. That's why we're trying to go to some congressmen to actually ask for support para ma-reinstate yung 7 billion na budget namin. Kasi critical ho doon yung ibang infrastructure projects namin pagdating sa pag-develop namin ng bagong IT system namin. Now, the target of the Bureau of Customs for this year is about 677 billion. Kasama na ho doon yung about 14 to 15 billion na ina-anticipate namin na mawawala sa amin by way of yung mga tax refunds, VAT refunds namin. So, but if you less mga 15 doon, so mga nasa 660 something lang ho. But we're aiming to collect either 607 or more for this year. Ngayon sa first half po, nakolekta na naman namin yung almost konti lang ho yung deficit namin dun sa dapat makolekta namin for the first half of the year. And because it's bare months, ang projection naman ho namin mukhang makakolekta namin yung target namin for the year.
And then, okay na. May tanong po sana ako, and I'm sure Eden will remember this kasi parang namin kinover to eh. But, you're talking about eradicating corruption in BOC. Pero paano po yung mga allegation of corruption before your time? Like po yung 2,000 na containers na nawala. Lumabas lang ng puerto eh, nawala na yung 2,000. Ito, di ba, kinover natin yung investigation ng Congress. Hindi po ba babalikan yun ng present
So, believe it or not, kasama ho siya doon sa 64, sa 52 na in-endorse namin sa Ombudsman. In fact, if you look at it, if you look at the lineup there, may iba ho doon ang case pa na pending sa amin is related to the 2,000 missing containers.
How about the shabu shipment in magnetic lifters? Kasama rin?
Sir, may pending case ho yung mga tao namin doon before the Office of the Ombudsman. But insofar as that's for draft. Yung shabu naman po na incident, I think that was already resolved by the Department of Justice. Only on the aspect of importation. Pero yung graft po, the Department of Justice, I think they have a memorandum of understanding with the with the Office of the Ombudsman. They referred all draft cases, criminal and administrative, to the Office of the Ombudsman, and is now pending before that particular body.
Thank you, Atty. Philip. Diego, you have other questions before we entertain questions from our media partners?
Yeah, this is for Director James. No? the COMELEC has always been having a problem with COA, no? And recently COA released a report so much has yet to be liquidated. Yeah? What is the COMELEC doing about this report? Yeah.
Sir Diego, the funny thing about that report is that it's a little outdated. There was a time na umabot ng ganun yung unliquidated cash advance. Kasi yung mga liquidations hindi nag-clear ng bank pa. But as of July 31, yung aming unliquidated is actually only 131 million. And the liquidations for those are undergoing the process right now. Unfortunately, the report, it seems, was quoted from an earlier time kung saan at one time, umabot talaga ng 1 billion. But remember, that was immediately post-election. So, marami tayong cash advances sa iba't ibang mga deputized agencies natin. So, sa amin, although nagulat lang kami dun sa balita, the fact that by July 31, which is already several weeks several weeks before the news even broke, na ang record na namin is 131 million, naglabas na kami ng clarification. So, wala na rin.
Okay, so bago tayo mag-entertain ng questions, nakita ko yung chef natin, Chef Mike Santos. Good morning, maraming salamat. No? Siya yung palagi nagpe-prepare nung brunch natin, which is being served every Friday. So, thank you so much, Chef. Okay, so any questions from the audience? Jimmy of SMNI.
Kay Atty. Vincent, sir, follow up lang, kung matandaan nyo, nung mga nakaraang buwan, may nailabas na 40-footer container van, ang laman droga. So, sino dapat managot dito? Custom ba o PIDEA? Kasi sinasabi, ang PIDEA, hindi pinayagan ng custom eh. May labas eh. Sabi naman ng custom, pinayagan din ng PIDEA para mahabol yung consignee. So biglang nang-news blackout, pero ngayon pumuputok na naman na medyo parang nagkakaroon ng gap, nagsisisiyan ng custom sa yung PIDEA. Sino ba talaga dapat managot dyan?
Sir, ano ho yan ngayon? There are coordinating meetings already being conducted by both PIDEA and Customs to look at that particular situation again. Hindi ho kami makapag-comment ngayon with PIDEA also because there's an internal inquiry being conducted by both agencies. But we assure you that after that inquiry, both agencies will make that more public. Pero ang jurisdiction mo kasi dyan, supposedly kaya nag-defer din mo kami sa Philippine Drug Enforcement Agencies is them. So that's why we're also working with them now because of those questions that are now being asked. Kung meron hong lapses yung mga tao namin dyan sa nangyari dyan without the knowledge of the Commissioner, then we'll inform you and we're sure to take action. Kasi ang nangyari nga ho dyan, mukhang may non-detection nung dapat lumabas. Tapos may of course, the video is saying that there's a controlled delivery aspect. But in light of the information that we got from Senator Lacson, pumunta naman po kami kay Senator Lacson at nagpunta rin si Commissioner Guerrero doon, got some information. And in light of that, we will look at, again, the entirety of what happened during that incident. It's being now the subject of an inquiry on that part.
Pero sir, yung doon sa mga tao na nagpalabas nun, identify na ba ho sila kung sino yung mga tao na yun?
May listahan naman kami na tinitingnan yan. Kasi ang auction process, so may mga endorsements yan, may mga approvals yan sa part namin. And we're working with PIDEA now to establish what actually transpired.
Okay, maraming salamat, Jimmy. Other questions? Dato kay Amblon, may landas.
Magandang umaga po. Ito bang ginagawa ng ating presidente, no? Good morning again. Na sinusulok ay naapakan itong mga luxury cars, no? Siguro he did it thrice already, no? Did it really help the importation and the smuggling of this luxury car in our country?
Sir, there are now less luxury cars na na-apprehend namin, to be fair. I think when we when the executive order was still being discussed. Ngayon kasi covered mo ng isang executive order yan. Nung una kong dinidiscuss yung executive order, and this is not the first time that this concept was floated. During the time of Commissioner Sevilla, na-float din ho itong aspetong to because there are studies na nagsasabi na magandang deterrent to pag ginawa yun. So sinubukan lang ho ni Pangulo na gawin to kasi ang nangyayari ho dati, kapag binibenta namin yung luxury vehicle na na-seize namin sa public auction, nagagawan pa rin ho ng paraan ng nag-smuggle na makuha ulit yun. Of course, very costly on their part. Pero ang point ho nila nun, nasasabi nila dun sa mga parokyano nila na kahit anong mangyari, madi-deliver namin sa inyo yan. Pwede silang malugi sa isa. Pero as long as merong nagtitiwala sa kanilang maglusot, magpapalusot at magpapalusot yan. Ngayon, kapag nadurog ho namin ng isa dyan, o dalawa o tatlo, at hindi ho na-deliver sa dapat nila pag-deliveran, ang nangyayari ho, nawawala ng tiwala sa kanila yung customer na yun. At instead of taking the risk again, during the next shipments, mukhang hindi na ho gano'n na nangyayari. So, to be fair, we look at the statistics. Kung mahalata nyo, pakonti na rin yung mga na-apprehend namin na misdeclared luxury vehicles. So I think the experiment of the President is working.
Thank you. Kay Director Jimenez, sana pwede po. Yes, sir. Kanina po, binanggit nyo na nagbigay ng 2 million si Cardema sa COMELEC, no?
Sabi niya.
Sabi niya, no? Hindi ba pwedeng mangyari din na he can volunteer as a whistleblower and instead of being the one accused, maging testigo siya laban sa pinaniniwalaan niya ang anomalya?
Oo naman ho. Kung gusto niya gawin, di gawin niya. Ang sa amin lang naman is, let's take this, lagpasan na natin yung stage na puro tayo press release, doon na tayo sa action. Actionan niya na.
Salamat po. Thank you very much.
Okay, other questions? Okay, final question? Kaya na? Running? No more? Okay, so kung wala na po tayong question, hihingin po natin na closing statements. Diego Cagahastian.
Sa tingin ko, naging maganda naman ang discussion natin this morning. Marami tayong natutunan sa workings ng Bureau of Customs from Atty. And from Director James, no? Na natutuwa ako na sabihin na bago siya naging Director ng Education and Information Department ng COMELEC, ako muna ang humawak ng nasabing posisyon sa ilalim ng chairmanship ni Benjamin Abalos. At nung panahon ko sa COMELEC, bilang chief ng EID, ay consultant namin, si James Jimenez. Isa sa pinakamagaling na writer at columnist ng Business Mirror.
Okay, salamat ka, Diego. My co-host, Charlie Manalo.
Maraming salamat sa ating mga media partners na patuloy na matakil sa ating media forum. Siyempre sa ating mga guests kay Atty. Maronilla and Director James. At sa ngayon, at least nalaman pala natin na wala na palang participation ng Smartmatic sa edukasyon natin. Kasi yun nga, palagi lang natin sabi, Smartmatic, hindi na pala ganun ka-accurate yung statement. Thank you kay Director James para pamilinaw.
Okay, Charlie Manalo, huwag niyo pong kakalimutan yung column niya sa Manila Standard. Okay? And of course, Atty. Vincent Maronilla.
So I'd like to thank Sir Charlie, Nanka Media Forum, Sir Charlie, Atty. Al, and Director Cagahastian for inviting us over. At yung mga kaibigan mo sa namin sa media, maraming salamat din sa pagkakataon para mapaliwanag sa inyo yung mga current issues ng Bureau of Customs at i-relay din sa inyo yung mga current programs namin. So, good morning po sa lahat at maraming salamat.
And lastly, Director James Arthur Jimenez.
Maraming salamat po sa pagkakataong binigay sa akin ng Nanka. Paalala ko lang, ang ating elections para sa barangay SK elections, kung hindi mapopostpone, ay nakaschedule para sa May 11. At ang ating election period ay magsisimula ng March 12 at tatakbo hanggang May 18, 2020. So, bantayan natin kung ano yung magiging development sa usapin niya.
So, ibig sabihin, may ganpan na naman mga panahon niya. Okay? At ito po si Atty. Vitangcol. Nagpapasalamat po sa inyong pagdalo. Dito na naman po sa ating News and Nuances Kapihan at Almusalan Nanka Media Forum. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pagdalo. Maraming salamat Atty. Vincent Maronilla. Maraming salamat Director James Jimenez. And of course, Diego and Charlie. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. Magandang umaga po sa inyo.
Atty, may calling card ba tayo dyan? Para
Sir, iniwan ko pa yung number ko doon sa...
Oo, kasi imbitahan ka namin kayo sa liga.
Sige po.
Ha?
So,